My dramatic music. There, I'm just trying to get it all sorted out. But view from the sidelines, stateside. I am enjoyed by Wally. How are you, Wally? You all right, mate?
I'm doing okay. Just a little disappointed, But other than that, I'm doing okay. I got a nice Jack Daniels with a little Coke in it, so it's easing the pain.
Yeah, I
Cheers.
agree,
Yeah.
mate. I agree. I'm gutted tonight, mate. I don't know about yourself, but that is. I thought last Sunday was the nail in the coffin for the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're dragging our feet at the minute towards the end of the season, and that Ben Ramos goal might have just given us a glimmer of hope for European football of some sort. Like Champions League's gone. That was gone last Sunday, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah.
What did you make of it tonight, mate? From your opinion?
Well, I was listening to the build-up, and they were talking about how many players, Brighton's missing, maybe 4 or 5 starters, and I was getting really confident, and I mean, I know the record we have against Brighton is not good, but this season it seemed like we turned over the lower teams. A lot of times we'll struggle against them. So you know what? I was so relaxed going into this match that I was convinced we were going to win and win heavily. So yeah, so very disappointing that we didn't score until near the end, and in fact they even took the lead. So yes, it was disappointing, I think is the right word. I mean, it was nice, like you say, that Ben Ramos scored it, and it was a beautiful goal, but just sort of disappointing, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what? I knew Brighton would be a tough game. Because when the West Ham, West Ham might be a new West Ham, but the old West Ham peeks through from time to time, and I can see it. Like when you've been following West Ham as long as I have, I can see it in a way that you just know when they're just not going to perform at certain places, and we just haven't beat Brighton. And like our form in the last 4 hasn't been great. We've won 1, lost 3.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Brighton tonight, and let's be honest. I know we drew the game. Well, I don't think personally we deserve to lose the game,
right?
But we didn't deserve to win the game, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Let me bring this man in. It's James, all the way from Canada. Another person in the house. Look, Canada and America on one show.
Yeah.
Right. James, how you doing, mate? How you feeling after that?
Oh, I've had to calm down for a bit because I don't know exactly how to articulate what happened. I'm not going to go as far as saying pissed off, but we can't beat Brighton. That's the thing. We just can't beat Brighton. And James has been calling a draw a week in fairness. Yeah, I did. Well, both Jameses did, really. I didn't see us beating Brighton. And what my point is that I think teams have sussed us out at this late stage of the season because Brighton sussed us out. Every time we had a counter-attack, they nullified it. It. It wasn't because we weren't going forward enough. It was just they got there at the last minute and blocked it out. Like how Declan Rice does to teams. That's what they were doing, the Declan Rice effect on us. And, all right, fair enough, it's a point gained, but,
but is it though, James? Like, let's be honest. Like, we didn't look great in the first 45 minutes. And I'm going to ask Wally this. What did you think in the first 45 minutes? Because I thought we was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I think until maybe like minute 40 or something, that was tough, and we were just struggling. Lingard just doesn't look like him, he was a few matches ago. Like he's player of the month for April and scored the goal of the month or whatever. But this month it's just totally different. He doesn't look in it. He's missing passes. He's not working into space. He's slowing it down. So until about the 40th minute, then we picked it up, and I almost felt like we were going to score, but then it was like halftime. So yeah, it was tough, except for the last, say, 5 minutes of the half. We were struggling. So I don't know.
It was to me like that's our full strength team, James. Well, that's our full strength. Like if we was to pick our team, that's our main striker, back 4, that everyone would say is our strongest back 4. Our goalkeeper, our 2 defensive midfielders, And I know Ben Rama, I'm a fan of his, but in the grand scheme of things, Fornells gets in there, Bowen gets in there, Lingard gets in there. So why did it go so bad tonight for you, mate?
Don't know. Like I say, we got sussed out again. Brighton sussed us out because they closed us down a lot. And you know how Ancelotti masterclassed last week with his tactics? I think Brighton did the same here because Potter told his players to be a bit more assertive. West Ham. That's why every time Sofal and Cresswell put a cross in, it was getting cleared out. Sanchez came out a lot more. I mean, it was very sideways from us. I think Bowen played a lot of sideways football. He didn't go forward enough. Antonio quite isolated yet again. Fornells was good today, but he needs to learn to take those chances. He's got to finish that. And if he did finish that, he'd go from a good player to an amazing player. Lingard, no intensity and very flat about him. Maybe we should. I don't care if he's just from player of the month and goal of the month. It's not about last month; it's about now. I think I think Ben Rama coming on and equalising was a bit of a silver lining for the game. I know he got a point, and I'm not saying that it's a point. I'm not saying it's a point game because one, it's stating the obvious, and two, yes, it is. But it feels like we lost this, really, because we got tactically outclassed by Brighton. How embarrassing is it to say that?
Yeah, but really? the only way, I'm going to ask Wally this in a minute, but I'm just going to say this. The only way I look at it is we didn't just do enough to win the game, but I don't think we deserve to lose the game. If that makes sense. Like, the draw was the fair result, I think. Like, let's be honest, Brighton weren't peppering our goal, and Fabianski was making save after save after save.
Yeah.
But we was just like Wally. Like, let's be honest, we was like there was nothing there. Like, and I agree with his comment. I just want to say his comment, and I'll let Wally speak. Why does Antonio keep pulling out wide and deep? Like, I've seen it, especially the last game against Everton. He was left, right, and he was even playing as a DM at one stage. Like, Wally, what do you think, mate, with Antonio tonight?
Yeah, it was. Well, I think he struggles when there's three at the back, like just like at Everton. These guys had three at the back, and the one dude's like 6'8" or something. He's huge, and it just didn't seem like Antonio could pick up any headers, and I think they've figured us out. That, like you said, Ancelotti figured us out, and Potter, copied with three at the back, and it's very disappointing because they, like I said, they on the build-ups, they have 4 or 5, 6 starters out. But I'll tell you what they were also doing. That Bissouma was just like hacking down Lingard every chance he had. And I think that took, that distracted Lingard such that he was, maybe rushing passes or holding back. So I think they got in his head, and it was tough. I'm disappointed. Yeah. My word.
It is disappointing, mate. It is. Well, let's look at the positives. Ben Rama scores his first goal tonight. Obviously, everyone knows that I'm a Ben Rama fan. I've backed this man up from minute one. I've said that he deserves a bit more respect than he's getting. I'm going to ask James this, and I'm going to ask Wally. Yeah. What do you think of his goal, James? What do you think of his cameo?
Well taken, immediate. I mean, I told you all this a message for you. I actually missed that goal because I was, doing my business, and I've always happens to me every time I bloody think it's gone. I just end up going there and thinking nothing happened. Then I rush back from Lav and F. West Ham was scored and think, it's Ben Rama. Let's have a look. I'm like, I missed a cracker. Yeah, but well taken goal from Ben Rama, and that is showing why patience is a virtue with some of these players. How many times have West... I've seen people on Twitter just saying, why don't we swap Ben Rama for Tony in the summer? I'm like, do one. Because it's bloody quite that.
I know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, right? And I'm telling you that, you're so right. I looked at that comment, I was like, mate, have you been drinking? Do you know what I mean? Some of the comments was just madness. Absolute mad.
Some people are just mad, though. I mean... Ben Rama's goal has shut a lot of people up. It shut his critics up, at least. That's the positive. It shut people who did shit out of the picture on it.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do. Wally, what did you think of it, mate? Ben Rama come on. He put a good ball in for Dawson. Unlucky, he should have got it on target, though. I must admit, Dawson. Yeah. And then he scores that goal that gets us the point. What was your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal. I mean, he had to put it right. The keeper had everything covered except right in that corner of the goal, and he put it in, and it just nicked the post and went in. So he really had to place it. I think he put some curve on it so that it was a thing of beauty. Yeah, he took it over on his right foot and found a little space and put it right in the perfect spot. So it was a beautiful goal. And now I hope, that sets him off. That gets the pressure off him. And, he's tied with Fredericks now with goals. So, Yeah,
but what is your what's your thoughts though on Ben Rama though, Wally? Like, what you've seen this season? What have you seen that you like? Have you assessed his season so far, Ben Rama?
Well, I think he looks really good. He's got good skills on the ball and everything. So I'm a little mystified why Moyes doesn't like him so much or doesn't play him as much as he does. I think, but I guess it would be maybe at the cost of somebody like Fornals or Bowen. And I'll tell you what, Fornals had a great game, so I wouldn't want to see Fornals pulled. But certainly Bowen, didn't do much, I don't think, today. And boy, Ben Rama just looks really, good with the ball and things. And I guess, the knock on him is he doesn't maybe get the defensive responsibilities so much as, say, a Fornals or even a Bowen. So maybe that's why Moyes doesn't play him. But when he has the ball, I feel like things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. And I think now that he's got his goal, he'll be more. He won't be so tight, and he'll just put it in. But if he just works on his heading a little, then he could.
Yeah, I know, mate. A week ago or 6 days ago, everyone's criticising him because he can't header a ball, but no one's going to be criticising tomorrow morning, especially here, especially the way he put that finish away. Right, so James, we're now 2 games away from finishing the end of the season. We are now sitting in 6th position, I believe. Right, I think we're in 6th now, and Tottenham are 3 points behind us. Everton are 3 points behind us. Arsenal, which Arsenal's the one. They played the game more than us, and they're 4 points behind us. Where are we ending up this season, mate?
I want to answer. Too bloody tight. Shit. Oh no, it's stressing me. I don't know, man. You know what? I want to sit here in front of you two and say we'll win these last 2 games of the season, but Sod's law says that we'll screw up somehow because of West Ham and we're a comedy bloody act. So, shit. I will say 7th, just to be generous. If we finish 8th, I'm not going to call this season a failure if we finish 8th. But what I will say is typical West Ham that we bottled it more than a recycling depot.
Yeah, it's true. Wally, what do you think, mate? Where do you think we're going to finish?
Yeah, I have this bad feeling like the last time we were in this position in 2016, the end of the season, we just started bottling it. And, I think we could have at least been 6th or maybe 5th, but, we ended up in 7th. And so I feel that coming on again. So I'm going to go with 7th. I think we got to win at least one of the next 2. I'm sure we will. West Brom and Southampton have to be like just on the beach. They have nothing to play for basically. And maybe with Ben Rama has his goal now, he'll just unleash himself. Hopefully Lingard can get back into form. And I hope we win the next 2, but I have a feeling it's going to be 7th, to be honest.
Yeah, Joe,
I'm okay with that.
I think we'll beat West Brom. I think West Brom. I think the confidence from that goal might spur us on for the next one. I think we beat West Brom. I think Southampton. You don't know what Southampton you're going to get. I actually think we could finish 8th. Right, and I do. Right, I think the next 2 are easy for us on paper, but there's other teams like Everton. I've got like Sheffield United next. That's a guaranteed 3 points. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to ask this question, and I'm going to do a player ratings from both of you. Scott says here's a question. If Ben Ryan was Lingard tonight, would he have been off on the hour mark? Not a fan of this Moyes favouritism business. Now, I'm going to put that to James first, right? And that is a good point, I must admit, because Lingard's been missing for the last 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
He was poor again tonight, James. Is there a bit of favouritism there?
Yeah, definitely. I think Moyes has a connection with Lingard. I don't know if Moyes is willing to give Lingard more chances, but we can see Lingard's been off the ball. I don't know what... I think Ben Rama... I'm not saying that Moyes hates Ben Rama. I don't think that's the case. But the favouritism is what's keeping Ben Rama out of the team. Because I think since Lingard's come in and made more of a quicker impact than Ben Rama did when he came in. And I suppose since Ben didn't hit the ground as quickly, it sent a signal to Moyes, this is who's playing because Lingard's getting off the mark. Would he have been off? Probably. But who would he have stuck on? Yarmolenko? No.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, mate. You're right, mate. Wally, what do you think on this question, mate? What Scott said.
I agree. I think he would have been off. He would have. He's been, he's pulled Ben Rama. He's usually if Ben Rama starts, he's usually the first one out. So I agree. If Lingard just did not play well. He was like I said, he was missing passes. I don't know if it was because they were hacking him down in the first half, and maybe it just got him off his game. But the last few matches, he just hasn't looked sharp. So I think he would have pulled a Ben Rama after that. Yes.
Yeah, I agree, mate. With that, Lingard's been poor the last 4 games, in my opinion.
Yep.
All the way back to the Newcastle game, which was like 4 weeks ago. Yeah. Right, every week that he's played Lingard, he hasn't been great. Like especially, it seems like the last game he played well was the Wolves away game when he scored that wonder goal, and he's got Player of the Month and Goal of the Month, I think it was.
Yeah.
Since then, he's been like, it's like, I think he's done his job now at West Ham to say, right, I've got myself in the shop window for a move in the summer to somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm going to touch on one more player before I move on. Yeah. And I just want to ask both of you this. I'm going to start with Wally first. Mikel Antonio tonight, mate. This is our striker, and this man seems to be he's just not with it again. Like tonight, like left, right, dropping deep. He's never in front of the goal. Like, what's going on with Mikel Antonio, Wally?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the 3 center backs that he just can't get some space or something for himself. He feels like he's got to move off to the left. But yeah, that was disturbing. Definitely at Everton, the Everton match, he always seemed to be on the left, and I just didn't understand that. He's our striker. He should be, more central. And and he had his usual one where he hit, blasted it way over the net, and So, but I don't know. I just hope he has flashes of brilliance. Like at Burnley, I think he had a great game. Yeah. And so hopefully the next 2. I think we're stuck with him. So I hope he just wakes up for the next 2.
I agree. James, Antonio, mate, me and you have sat down before. We've seen him play some good games. We've seen him play some okay games, and we've seen him play some horrendous games. In the last 4 games, so to speak, he's come back against Chelsea, I think it was. Yeah. He didn't do nothing. He played well. No, he come back against Burnley. Played really well. Got 2 goals from his absence. Against Everton, non-existent. Tonight, non-existent. Is Wally right? Is a 3 at the back sussing out Antonio?
Yeah. because there's nothing really coming from the back. That, if you know what I'm saying, all the bloody chances. Oh, sorry, just went. All the chances come from the midfield.
Yeah,
for us, not from the back. We're not like a bar, so we don't play it from the back. We never really. That's not really what we do. We don't play from the back. The chance needs to start coming more from the midfield. If you ask me, having three at the backs opening us to get exploited because we have no one who can get back there to get the ball back. We're having to rely on play on Antonio. Actually, I think it was the Everton game. Antonio was having to get back to get balls back anyway. So he's got feels like a probably more responsibility to get win back possession when it's not needed because his midfield and his defence is letting him down.
Right. Well, I'm disappointed with Antonio, really, mate, because he has been injured. I get it, but he plays one good game. He plays one good game, and then he goes missing for 2 or 3, and then he have another good game, and that reminds me of Marlon Airwood. That does. Back in the day, that does. Like he'll score a hat trick against Villa, and the next week he'll miss like 5 chances and won't be able to get one on target. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do player ratings with you, right? I just want to go through a couple of players. Just want you to give me your ratings and basically out of 10 and what you think how they performed. I'm going to start off with Wally first. Fabianski in goal, mate. Give us a rating out of 10 of what you think Fab done tonight, because I thought he was all right.
I don't know. I'd give him an 8. I don't think he could do anything on their goal. And he made some good saves, solid saves. I think he'd probably an 8.
Yeah, I think 8's about right. Would you reckon, James?
Same.
Yeah, same as 8. Right, we'll go left back first. Cresswell, James. All right.
I thought he did all right, Cresswell. He put a lot of crosses in. Worked well feeding off of Fornals, I think it was. So I'm going to give Cresswell a 7. I think he did all right tonight.
What do you think of his corners? Before I come to Wally, what do you think of his corners tonight? Because there's some corners where it's hit and miss. Yeah.
Inconsistent. As long as he doesn't throw them short and more up, they're a bit inconsistent with his corners.
Yeah, I agree. Wally, what do you reckon, mate? Cresswell.
Yeah, I think 7's probably a good. He did have some good crosses, and I don't feel like he made any mistakes in defense that I can remember. So probably 7. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get to this man. Right? I've seen some hate on Twitter of this man. Right? I can't believe it. Kafel. Which, yeah, mate, I did, James, honestly. I will say it again. I did see some hate for Kafel, saying he had the worst performance in a West Ham shirt, which to me, sorry, but that's a bit very delusional. I'll come to you, James, first in this one. Kafel out of 10, mate.
7. He put some really good crosses in. He put crosses in. Both our fullbacks did really well tonight. It's just a shame that no one got on the end of the service.
All I'm going to ask you, though, and I'm going to ask Wally this and all, is their goal, is Kafel at fault there or is Dawson at fault? Because one of them plays the offside trap, one of them don't, and then they're literally, you know what I mean? They don't know which one's going, and that's why the goal happens, if it makes sense. Because I think if Dawson plays the I think if Kafel plays the offside trap with Dawson, then it ends up being offside. And if Dawson looks round and sees that Kafel's there, he can drop back, sort of thing. So, before I sort of move on to sort of Wally, what do you think on that, James?
Just as I don't really blame it. I don't really blame any of them for that goal. I was just saying I've just said this in my aftermath. I've just recorded it. All this game was weighing on is one good pass and one good for either team, and it just came to Brighton first. I'm not really going to start blaming either Dawson or Sofal for that. Both
So you're going for a 7, mate? Yeah. Yeah, 7. Wally, what do you think, mate? Kafel.
Well, I like to watch Sufal really closely because he's keeping my man Fredericks out of and rightly so. He's played great. I can't. But this has to be one of his weaker performances, I think. And I do believe I watched him on that goal, and he was off. He was playing the Welbeck onside, and then Welbeck went by him, and he just stood there. He didn't. He was like, well, it's too late. he left it for Dawson to try to clean up, but he couldn't. So I'm going to give him a 6. Therefore, probably one of his weaker performances.
Do you know what? I'm going to agree with Wally on this one. I think a 6 is fair. I think he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. To me, when you say a 6 to Cafal, that's just below average in my opinion, because he's been a 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I thought he tried his best, right? But one chance, one goal, innit, from them again. Like, I mean, they don't do nothing and they go through and end up scoring. So, yeah, I agree with Wally there. I think 6 is fair. Angelo Bonner, Wally, what do you reckon, mate, on his performance? He returns tonight.
Yeah, I think he did all right. He was strong in defense. He took the ball up, played it up a few times. So, yeah, I didn't really see anything wrong. And, they weren't really, I felt like they were playing for a draw, to be honest. They just didn't care. And then they, just like Everton, they got that quick goal, and so I think Ogbonna did all right. I'd give him a 7. I didn't.
Yeah. I think 7's fair. James, what do you think, mate?
Yeah,
you agree?
Played the ball pretty well. Did some good defensive duties. Yeah, 7. Agree with both.
Right, we're going to get to this man. Craig Dawson has a great chance at 0-0, right, to score. And not even that. It's a great chance to even hit it on target. He's at fault for the goal because Cafal goes up, he goes down, and communication. What's your rating, James, for Dawson, mate?
6 out of 10, because I didn't think he was awful today, but he did head off target. He was kind of a fault for the goal. Other than that, I thought he was quite solid defensively. He just had 2 little blips that stopped him from getting any higher rating. Yeah,
I agree, mate. Wally, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, I agree with the 6. On his chance, I think the cross, Souček actually nicked the cross, and so I think that screwed up Dawson from. If that hadn't touched Souček and deflected a little bit, I think he would have put in a much better header. So I'm not gonna slate him on that, because there's no way he could adjust in time. So yeah, I think a 6 is pretty fair, because he was definitely, they beat him for the goal. So
yeah. Well, going to midfield, defensive midfield, Declan Rice returns. And for me, I thought he had a decent performance, really, considering his first game back, in night 6. I'll start off with James. What do you think, mate?
I'm going to go as far as to give him an 8 out of 10, because he dispossessed Brighton a lot and started a lot of those counter-attacks. Declan Rice, a lot of passes, a lot of good ball movement, 8 out of 10.
I agree. I agree. I thought he was all right. People said on, what was it? Saying we've been lacking injuries and all that, and obviously we've had injuries and Rice returned, but I thought Rice come back and it was like Rolls Royce at midfield. It's just a shame, really, that his performance didn't match the team performance, in my opinion. But Wally, what do you think, mate? Declan Rice returns.
Yeah, I think he did well. He did very well. I'd give him a 7, because I didn't see any, fantastic offensive plays, but he definitely broke up, defense and played very strongly there, and there were a couple of great tackles, like, oh yeah, he's back. So, yeah, I think a 7.
7. Right. Thomas Souček, his partner, he has a header tonight. And basically that's about it, really, from Thomas Souček, from what I can remember. He was in there for the goal for Ben Ramos, causing havoc. Wally, what do you think of Souček tonight, mate?
Yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong, and he seemed to be very active. He was all around the pitch as usual. So I would give him a 7. I didn't think he did anything exemplary, but yeah, he did, decent performance. I'd give him a 7.
James?
7. Yeah, he was all right.
Well, I'm going to ask you, James, what makes you give him a 7? Like, what did you see tonight? Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really seen a lot from Souček, really, recently.
Well, I think I might change my mind. Probably not a 7. I'll probably give him a 6 because he flat today. Again, another player that's a bit flat. Didn't see a lot of him heading off target. But other than that, he didn't really massive scores.
I agree, mate. I think 6 is Souček. I love him, right? I love the man, but for some reason he's just. I don't know whether he's burnt out because he has played enough every game this season. Well, he has played every game this season, and he's just not the same player. Like the ball comes in the box for an header, which is his territory. Header goes skying over the bar, like nowhere near it. Yeah. At corners, ineffective again. Like he's supposed to be one of our main threats. He's like there. I think 6 is about right, really, for him. It's a shame because like. He's been phenomenal, but he seems like he's just slowly drifting away. If that makes sense this season. Like the season's just passing him by and he's just had enough, basically. Right, we're going to get into it. Jarrod Bowen, right, gets subbed. So I might as well get to the sub first. Plays 60 minutes, gets subbed. Wally, what did you think of Jarrod Bowen's performance today, mate?
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of it. I didn't really see much of him. I don't remember him doing much, so I'm going to give him a 5. I'm a little disappointed. You know, unless I was missing something, but maybe a little harsh. But
well, you ain't seen my ratings for a couple of the other players yet, Wally.
Okay.
So we're going to get into that in a little bit, mate. But a 5 from Wally there. James, what did you think of Bowen?
Sideways. He dribbled sideways all the time. He never got forward. Didn't have really any chances. So 5. Yeah, I mean, he's not worthy of anything over that.
I'm going to give him a 6, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm going to give him a 6. Yeah, he was moving. Yeah. He was getting about. He was getting about and making himself look threatening. Trying to get in between the lines and things like that. But there's other players who we're going to get onto a little while who really didn't do any better. Like, in my opinion, and I think, and Scott summed it up brilliantly. You can't sub Antonio, you can't sub Lingard, you can't sub Fornals, so you've only got Bowen to sub, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? So basically, it sort of the sub picks itself, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So I think a 6 is about right for him. I think he wasn't great, he wasn't awful. He was trying. I can't knock his effort. He was definitely trying. But yeah, I think a 6 for me. I'll give him a bit more credit. I'm going to get to Pablo Fornals. I thought he was okay. He's got to start taking some of these chances, though. I'm sorry, but if you're playing in this position, like you've scored 3 goals all season and then 3 assists, you need to be burying chances. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was all right. He was okay. I think he's not an 8. I don't think he's a 6. I think 7's fair for me personally. Wally, what do you think, mate?
Oh, I thought he had a great game. I thought, he was all over the place. He had some, great moves and a little flick around some guy. And the one chance that he had going up the middle. Yeah, I guess if he had to get into that position, he did some great moves to get into that position. So he just wasn't quick enough, I guess, on the trigger to where the I guess the right back came in and just kind of disrupted him. So, but even to get in that position, so I'm going to give him an 8 because he was all over. He throws it all out there.
Do you think though, Wally, that he's got to do a bit more though, like in front of goal? Like, it's okay running about. I get it. Like, he's working hard. He's making things happen. I get it, but his end product is really no better than Ben Rama's, if I'm honest. And it seems like Ben Rama gets a lot of stick. And don't forget, Pablo's been here 3 years, and Ben Rama hasn't even been here 10 months. Do you know what I mean? So, I just what do you think on that with Fornals? Do you think he needs to improve a bit more in front of goal and get some more goals?
Yeah, I mean, it always seems like every match he's missing. He's got a good chance and he misses it. He has to miss a chance or two and then he might get a goal. But the one big chance that he had, he didn't really even miss. He just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough. So yeah, I mean, maybe, but I don't know that that's his job, is so much to be, like shooting right in front of goal. I think he does so much more work, back on defense and stuff. I always just see him running all around the pitch. So I guess that's why I admire him. And
he's got to work. He's got an injured. I'll give him that. I will say he has got an injured on him, the lad. James, talk to me, mate. You either love him or you hate him. Fornells. I'm in between that. I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't think he's as bad as some people make out. What do you think, mate, on today's performance?
I'm good. Today's performance, I thought it was really good. I mean, if he'd just taken his chances more, we'd be having a different conversation right now. But his build-up play is really good. His build-up play, he knows where to be with the ball. He knows how to run with the ball in space. Today, I'm actually going to go as far to give him an 8 out of 10 because but I would have given him a 9 if he'd have taken those chances. But he has to take his chances. Build-up play is good. He's doing all the right things with the ball, but he needs to learn to shoot when he's got a chance.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to start taking his chances. For me, he has to, because it's becoming an habit now. It's like every time he's in front of a goal, he's either skying it or. To me, every time he's in front of a goal, I don't know about you lads, but every time he's in front of goal, he's always overstretching. Like he's never he'll do all the good stuff, and then you get to the chance to score. He's either overstretching to score it, or he's overstretching to try and put it towards the goal, or something like that. Mad. But anyway, Lingard now. Now I'm going to start with this one. I thought he was dreadful. I thought he was absolutely non-existent. Runs with the ball, didn't do anything untowards. And I'm going to start by giving him a 4. I thought he was. I don't think he. I think a 5 is being generous, in my opinion. I think, he was poor, in my opinion. James, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, 4 out of 10 because he's just very flat, no intensity, no style, no flow. Looked lethargic on the ball. Yeah. Didn't do much. He hasn't done in the last few games.
Yeah, Wally?
Yeah, I agree. But I'm going to give him a 5 because he did find some space occasionally and started to look like the Lingard of Player of the Month last month. But I agree. I think once he got hacked a few times by Bissouma and that took him out of his game. You could see he was frustrated. He was. I think one time he looked like he took a knock on his leg or something. I don't know. So yeah, I just not a good game with him, but I'm going to give him a 5 just because he found some space occasionally and looked somewhat bright. So.
Yeah. I think like 5, 4 or 5. You could it's either one, but either one of them is bad in my opinions. Mikel Antonio. Right now, 2 weeks ago, before I sort of rate this player, 2 weeks ago, everyone was praising this man from the hill, saying, "What's a player? He's going to break Di Canio's record. He probably will break Di Canio's record. If it ain't this season, it'll be next season for definitely." But the last 2 games, he's been massively found out, and it seems like now we've got Mikel Antonio who hasn't got a clue how to score or get into the right positions. I'm going to rate this player. I think it was one of his worst performances I've seen him play this season. That's being generous. I think his work rate is unquestionable. You can't question his work rate. But his appetite to be in the right place for the goals and all that, he's just nowhere to be seen. He's dropping deep, he's dropping left, he's dropping right. At one stage, and this is no word of a lie, Thomas Souček was up front and Mikel Antonio was in midfield somewhere. And I was like, and I'm sitting with my friend and I said to my mate, I said, what is going on with our system? We've got Ben Rama as a DM, we've got Souček up front, we've got Lingard as a right back. Right, it was just all over the place. So I'm going to give him a 3, right? Because I think that's being massively harsh. Because when he's on form, he's deadly. But when he's off form, he would have been better off having Yarmolenko on there. And that's not even having a joke with that. That's really bad. Do you know what I mean? But Wally, I'm going to start with you on this one, mate. What do you think on Antonio?
Yeah, he didn't have a great game, so I would say, yeah, maybe a 4. But yeah, he just, like you say, it was the Burnley match. I think it was when he first came back. He was just on fire, and now it seems like he's, taking it off and just not firing on all cylinders. So hopefully he'll come back in the next 2 matches, because I think last season near the end he, really came on fire. So hopefully he'll find that again, because really, what else can we do? If we don't have him up front.
I know, mate. I know. I totally agree. When we need him a lot more like now than ever. James, Antonio, mate, we've sat there before, me and you. We've praised him and said he's been phenomenal. Then sometimes we've looked at him and think like he's hitting the steward in the ground. Do you know what I mean? Talk to me, mate. Antonio, rate him.
4. Not that he was non-existent, but he wasn't clinical today. He didn't do much, in my opinion. He didn't do much to even try to score. So he has been, you are right, he has been off pace a little bit. And they say that hard work beats talent, talent doesn't beat hard work. He has got the talent, but he didn't have the hard work today. So with that said, nothing to show for.
Yeah, I agree. I really do, mate. I don't know. I can't not agree with you there with that one. Now, the substitute, the man who changed the game, the man who saved the game, Said Ben Rama. Now, I'm going to leave my suggestion until last. I'm going to start off with Wally on this one. What do you think, Wally, on Ben Rama's introduction, goal, and possible assist for Dawson? That was sad.
I think he had a, for the time he was in there, I think he did really well. I don't think he missed any, defensive responsibilities. So he was on. So I'm going to give him an 8, because that goal was sensational, and the cross, was a beautiful cross. So considering he was just a sub, therefore I think I'll give him an 8.
James?
8, because he made a massive impact as soon as he came on. Crossing more, getting more possession with the ball, not really doing anything too fancy as he has done in the past. Got equalising goals, that's a big, took his chance, and he was probably the first player in the game really to take a chance when he got it clear cut.
I'm going to give him a 9. I am, because I think he comes on the pitch. Right, we're chasing the game. We go a goal down, and then he turns up and puts that ball in. Now, if that's Lingard, right now everyone's singing off the hymn sheet. The newspapers are going wild, Twitter's exploding, everyone. And I don't see that with Ben Rama. Right, he scored a goal that's probably still kept us in a European position at the minute, and that point might actually get us 7th. Like if we win both games, that 1 point might actually get us over the line. So for me, he gets a 9 for the amount of time he was on and what he done in that time. He put a great ball in for Dawson. Absolute phenomenal ball in. And if Dawson gets that on target, that's either going to be a goal or that's going to be a very, very good chance of a goal. Do you know what I mean? So I think he deserves a 9, in my opinion. And that's not me being biased for him, because I think for what he done in 20 minutes, look at Lingard. I can't even say what Lingard and Antonio done in a 90. Do you know what I mean? But between the pair of them, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I'm going to get to a comment in a minute, but I'm going to ask you this final rating to rate David Moyes today. James, give us a rating out of 10 for David Moyes.
Well, he got the lineup right. He got a good lineup, but he didn't do enough really to change it tactically when we were more on top. Potter changed it. Yeah, Brighton on top. Moyes today, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10, because I think he made the substitution at the right time. He took Bowen off, and rightly so, but he needs to still tweak his lineup a little bit in these last 2 games. One of the things he should consider is dropping Lingard.
That's a big call, though, isn't it? It's a big call to a man.
So what? If he's got balls, he'll do it.
Yeah, and I agree. I do agree with you though, James. It's not like I don't, and I really don't. Wally, what do you think, mate? With Moyes, give him a rating out of 10.
Well, I don't think he had much choice. I think he brought Ogbonna in, which was the right move, obviously. Bench Diop, but definitely Ogbonna was the smart thing, and obviously, if Rice was available, he was going to start. So I guess the only other call was Bowen versus Ben Rama, and maybe in retrospect, he should have started Ben Rama. So I'm going to give him a 6. I agree the sub was effective, but once again, he must have known that they were going to play 3 at the back because some of the people talking were predicting that. So I don't know. He should have had a better plan or something to I thought we were going to just crush these guys with all the they were basically a half-baked team, with half of their players missing. So I'm just going to give him a 6.
I agree, mate. Do I agree with you on the 6? I don't know. I think he picked the right team. I think the team's the right team because let's be honest, that's West Ham's strongest team. On paper, that is their strongest team. That's their striker. Bowen's always going to get in there in front of Ben Rama because he's been there longer. Fornell's, because for what his work rate, Lingard for what he's done. Obviously, the 2 DMs pick themselves, and the back 4 sort of picks itself and all, and the goalkeeper. So I can't moan about the team selection because he's got that right. Could he have changed it? He changed it at the time when he brought Ben Rama on, and it sort of worked to a point. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they don't score that goal and Ben Rama does score that goal, Ben Rama's the hero tonight. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with James a little bit. I'm going to give him a 7. I think what they've done on the pitch is more disappointing than what Moyes done, if that makes sense. Like what Moyes done, he done the right things. He went with the right tactics. He played positive. He didn't go 5 at the back. Do you know what I mean? He done nothing crazy. So to me, I think he's got it right tonight. But the team's just let him down. I think a lot of them players let him down tonight, and Antonio being one of them, and Lingard being the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give it that. Got a question here. Thoughts on Cafal's game? Now we did mention it previous. I thought Cafal was. He was okay. But when Cafal has an okay game, that's not good. Do you know what I mean? Because Cafal usually has like great games, and when he has like a sort of average game, everyone goes, "Oh no, what do you think of Cafal?" I just think it's just one of them games. But for me, I just think he was all right. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion. Right, lads. So where do we go from here now? Then we've got West Brom next. I just want to get your prediction on the West Brom game before I wrap it up. We've obviously got West Brom next. I think I'll be shocked if Ben Rama's not starting that game because for what he's done in 20 minutes and Bowen and everything else. First of all, I'll come to Wally first. Right, do you change anything, Wally, from the team other than Ben Rama for Bowen? And is there anyone else that you change in that team? Like, does Dawson come out and Diop come in, or does anything like change at all, really, like to freshen it up?
Yeah, I think I agree with you on the Ben Rama call, but the rest of the side picks itself. I don't think Sufal did bad enough to bring in Fredericks. Although that would be fun. But anyway, so yeah, I think it'll be pretty much the same, and probably Dawson and Ogbonna for the back partnership. So yeah, I would bring in Ben Rama.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I do. James, is there anything that you would change going on to the West Brom game Wednesday night?
Yeah, Ben Rama start. I think we want Ben Rama to start. Bruce is giving the side confidence to give the whole team. Yeah, get him in.
Do we go 4-2-3-1 against West Brom, or do we have to change it up again and try and because we're in a bit of a rut now where we can't seem to win a game?
change it up. I think that's definite. We've got to change it up a bit.
Yeah, I agree there. I just think a lot of these players are running out of steam, like from what I'm seeing. And let me ask you this. Give me a prediction, and I'll start off with you, James, and I'll leave the final word with Wally. Wednesday night, mate, we've got West Brom. They're relegated. We've just played Brighton, who are playing for nothing, and we've just put a performance in like that. What do you think we're going to put in a performance against West Brom on Wednesday?
I think we need to step up. So we'll learn from we should be learning from this Brighton game. Go up against West Brom with a bit more enthusiasm. I'm going to say we win 2-1, but we can scrape it.
Wally, what do you think, mate?
I think Moyes is going to just chew these guys out for their performance tonight, and we're going to come out. And I thought we were going to do this tonight, but we didn't. But I think we'll smash them 3-0. Just like Ben Ramo with a brace. You know,
I know. Wally's been on the JD, but come on, Wally. Nah, that's fair enough, mate. Do you know what? I think we beat West Brom, but I don't think it's easy. I really do. I think I keep saying it every last couple of weeks. I've said it. We need to score first, and we haven't, and we've ended up either losing or drawing the game. I think if we can get a goal against West Brom, they come out, and then we can hit them on the break, and then that's when we're lethal. I am going to say a 2-0 win. I think we will win against them. We have to bounce back, and it's basically win or nothing now. Do you know what I'm saying? If we don't win, we're not going to get anything. So it's win at all costs. So for me, I'm going to go a 2-0 win on that. And they've got to put in a better performance. But to round it up, the curse at Brighton continues. Yeah. That's 8 games now. 3 losses, 5 draws, and we can't beat a team on the South Coast. Do you know what I mean? For some reason,
I thought it would be different this year, but I guess not.
No, mate, trust me, this is West Ham. Nothing's different. It's just. It might be a different year, but it's the same old scene. But right, I want to thank James. James, thanks for coming on tonight, mate. I really do appreciate it. All the way from Canada. Hope you're going to enjoy the rest of your evening. And Wally, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on, mate. I hope to get you on again. It's been a real pleasure having you on, mate. And I'll get you on next time. And I want to thank everyone who's been watching tonight. If anyone wants to come on Stateside and wants to come on the show, DM me on Twitter. Follow James from the Anvil. Follow Wally on Twitter with his hashtag below. And let's hope for a positive result Wednesday night. I tell you what, because if this season does collapse like it looks like it is doing at the minute, it'll be papered over cracks, in my opinion. And to me, we should be doing a lot better. Like 8th will look like it's been an average season when it should be a lot better season than it should. So let's hope for a positive result Wednesday. So thanks everyone for watching. Take care and good night.
Good night.